Welcome to the jungle! Just kidding. Man, cue the music.
Baga parang medyo legit show din naman tayo. Ito paano?
Shout out mo yung
towards the end, diba?
Sikat kayo eh.
Hindi, wala nga nakikinig sa amin eh. Wala nga nakikinig sa amin, pre.
Number 45 kayo.
Ha? Ayun talaga.
Let's go.
And we're back, folks. All right, we're live. Live recording,
Live recording lang.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah.
Today's podcast again. New episode, guys.
Yeah.
First of all, like I said, for all the new listeners out there, kinaklarify ko lang, we are Architalks, but we don't usually talk about architecture and stuff. We want to be diverse. And again, sa mga lahat na nakikinig, I want to say thank you for listening to this podcast, our weekly bullshit. So I want to say thank you. We are now ranking number 45. That's a fluke. I think it's a fluke.
No.
What? Ano tayo, Mau?
Umangat tayo ng tatlo, so we're number 42 now.
Oh, we are number 42. God damn it, man.
Yep.
Right. Tawa naman ako rito. Alright, guys. Luckily, this is an audio podcast, Alright, our guest for today, the person who's hanging out right now is none other than my schoolmate from high school. Well, he's close enough to be a superhero because his name is attached with the word captain. He can fight, he can fly, and he has abs. Okay, our guest right now is none other than Captain Ivan Go, people. What's up, man? Welcome to the podcast. All right. It's been a while, pare.
It's been a while, bro.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think that... Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I'm very happy sometimes because, naalala mo, do you remember during the lockdown in April, we were playing modern Call of Duty. Remember that? I was so bored. I was very, very bored. And then I saw Mark's Facebook posts. A lot about Call of Duty. So I started downloading it. Mark was helping me how to do it and everything. And I think we only played 5 times.
Yeah.
Less than that, yeah?
Yeah, less than that because during that time it was like a free multiplayer game instead of the, typical free Warzone game.
Yeah.
So next time, okay. World War Z naman. World War Z.
I will play that. I will play that with Blanca because si Mark he's very good in these things,
Oh, no.
He can navigate it easily. He kills a lot of people. He's always top one,
No, not
he's
really.
very good at these things. He's my idol. I always ask him about,
gaming stuff.
What do I play now? What to do? What's the free downloads and everything? Mostly the free stuff. Mostly the free stuff only.
Yeah, free
Not
stuff.
the pay stuff because So,
for the listeners out there, I want to say this person si Ivan cheap din to lagi nanghingi ng free movies.
Of course, man, because we are now financially challenged.
Yeah, sino bang hindi nagda-download ng pirated dito, ha? Obviously, pagka free, dito tayo sa free.
Huwag na magpaka-hypocrite, no?
Yeah, but my download movies are only 1, 2, not too much. Baka makulong ako, pare.
No, you don't have to download na. Meron namang movie HD. Pinopromote namin yan.
Yeah, movie HD.
Movie HD, pare. Alam mo bang, I'm the first one who had it from Blanca. So Mark, binigay niya kagad sa akin yan. So nung nakita ko when I saw the app, the movie HD app, I was very happy. It helped me a lot because here in Vietnam, the movie houses, especially where I am in Yang, is not that so updated. And mostly they are supporting their own local cinema, which is the Vietnamese movies. Yeah. So which is good for them. It's a Southeast Asian country. It's more like the Philippines. But what I like about this country is they're more nationalistic, despite them being communist and everything. They support their local people, especially in the industry of business, industry of industry of local workers and everything. They support them, fully. And when the pandemic came, the COVID-19 pandemic came, you can see the resilience of their people in adhering the government is imposing. That's why successful sila when it came to containing the COVID virus. Pero right now, since yesterday, because starting April 15 or 19, I forgot the date, but it's almost 100 days. It's actually exactly 100 days. There was no COVID transmission here in Vietnam until yesterday in Da Nang, which is another province of Vietnam. So
Same situation din dito sa Macau actually. Same din.
Yeah.
Nagkaroon ngayon ng isang, I think if I'm not mistaken, isa ring infected Yeah.
And saan siya galing?
Pilipinas.
Oh. Well, yung nangyari, what happened here was a local. No? At first, we assumed it was a foreigner who came from a repatriated flight because the first time the news broke out yesterday, it was said that the virus came from 2 Russian guys and a Filipino that came to Danang. And then this morning, I read the news. It is written that it was a local guy who attended birthday parties, baptismal, and everything. According to the news, this is not factual. Okay? I think it's fact. It's a fact, but I'm not sure because everything we read nowadays is online news, you know? And it's so prevalent nowadays that the news are often doctored, are not often legit.
Yes, true.
It's not based on that. So, but based on that news that I've read, it's quite alarming because if you will look at the history of Vietnam in terms of containing the COVID virus, they are very reactive, if they get something like this, they act as soon as possible. So what we are now fearing is that they will go to another lockdown. So, I'm an OFW. If they put us again on a lockdown, it's going to be very, very sad. And right now, the local flights, namin is back on track. We are flying a lot nowadays. And as a pilot, as a OFW pilot here, I'm working for Vietjet as a first officer. As a local pilot here, we don't want that to happen because, number one, our salary, again, will be affected because right now we're receiving less than what we have to receive. Actually, what we receive right now, if you're not too frugal in terms of spending, is just enough to get by, It's not enough to support somebody. So it's a hard time right now for the past 4. This is almost the 5th month. So I hope it doesn't happen because right now we are living in a very dangerous times.
Yes, true.
Especially for you, Mark, and Mao and me. We are all OFWs. So anything happens to the country that we are in, it's very dangerous, And syempre, we all want to go home. We all want to go home to Manila. And it's quite depressing, to be honest.
Yes, it's
so
agree.
If they put us again on a lockdown and because of these travel restrictions, it's gonna be very, very hard for guys like me because right now I'm putting myself into a lot of activities just to forget about home, just to lose the depression. Mainly sports activities, because I live in the beach, near the beach. Actually, it's in the beach. It's a tourist attraction. Nha Trang. Mainly, the tourists that come here are Chinese from China and Russians. That's the 2 most attracted nationalities that comes here. So before COVID, we were flying a lot to those destinations, especially China, Russia. We don't fly it, but it's supposed to be. We were supposed to fly to Vladivostok and mostly Korea. Those countries. And actually, before I came, sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
It's fine.
okay.
Go.
I'm leading.
Sure.
It's okay. It's interesting, guys.
Go on.
Go on.
So,
It's nice. It's good for the viewer listeners.
Before the pandemic, we are flying mainly on these destinations. So basically, the root of our income, especially on flights, comes from tourists that comes from China, Korea, and Russia. So now they were cut off because of this pandemic. It's been really hard. We're flying domestic flights only. Right now, before the infection happened yesterday in Da Nang, it's another province here in Vietnam. It's also a very attractive destination. There's a lot of tourists that comes there also. So before the pandemic came, created this fucked up scenario for us. So right now I'm on a commuting contract, which means I only have to work for a certain month or weeks. We have choices here. The company is very, very nice that I'm working for. It's probably one of the nicest companies.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
For. Yeah. So especially now during this pandemic, you can see the resilience of.
Yeah.
At first, we all thought we're going to get fired, we're going to lose our job. Speaking for most of the airlines
yes.
in the Philippines, in Hong Kong, in Europe, in America, right? You heard that, yeah, in the news? Like every day, there's firing, people are getting retrenched, because of redundancy. And what I admire most about my company is that despite the situation, they did the best they could do to keep us all here. So in turn, we survived. During April, especially April, or the last 2 weeks of March, you can see the travel volume decreased too much. to the point that when April came, we fly zero. And as a pilot, that's quite alarming because as a pilot, you have to maintain your recency on that, which means you cannot go beyond 60 days without flying an actual aircraft, or you have to go through your training again. You know?
Yeah.
You have to go through another set of training because, the job of a pilot is very, very stressful because every 6 months we get checks, for our recency. Unlike when you're having a driver's license, you can renew it for once in 5 years, especially in the Philippines where everything is very lax. You don't get any driving tests as long as you hit the age, you get the license, right?
Okay, wait lang, ma-interject lang kita. Regarding about that, yung sinasabi mo nga, yung kailangan, di ba, yung kailangan meron kang minimum requirement ng flight, di ba? Yung kanina sinabi mo. Kasi ito naman, I mean, sort of the same news din na kita ko for the past 2 days ata. Pero iba naman yung yung sa situation naman ng Macau Airline. Ang nangyari naman kasi, na found out nila, karamihan ng pilot nagla-login sa, 'di ba? Syempre meron din kayong login kung gaano kayo katagal na nagwo-work, 'di ba? Mga pilot kasi dito, karamihan pala mga pilot sa Macau Airline, based on sa news, is mostly mga Brazilian, Portuguese. May mga ilang din mga ibang Chinese din naman. The point is, kumbaga dinaya nila login nila for the longest time. So lahat sila may mga paid na mga overtime payment na ang lalaki ng sahod. So naging parang issue yung ngayon sa company. Tapos ngayon, ang naging problema naman, ito na, di COVID-19 na nga, no? So the problem now is, of course, limited yung flight na pabalik ng Brazil or pabalik ng Portugal or whatever. Na yun nga, di ba, pag hindi ka kakasabi mo na kanina, kaya naalala ko itong news na ito, pag hindi ka nakalipad ng how many, na limit mo na days, kailangan bumalik ulit 60 days, kailangan mag-training ka ulit. So yun yung nagiging problema na ngayon nila. Kasi nga, kumbaga syempre, sabihin natin, dahil wala ng flight, di ba? So ngayon, kailangan, iba, parang babalik ulit ang training para mag-flight ang closest lang na pwede mag-train sa kanila is sa China. So the problem now is, of course, karamihan sa mga pilot nila is mga Brazilian, Portuguese. Hindi sila makakatawid in China. So medyo dehado ngayon yung Macau Airline. I mean, now based on my understanding and based on what you said earlier, kaya ko lang naalala na, di talagang delikado sila kasi it means na kung di sila makapaglipad for 60 days, then kailangan bumalik sila ng training. Hindi sila makapasok ng China. So problema nga. And
so, alam mo, speaking of Macau Airlines, to be honest, I don't know that news. I don't want to give any information or say anything that is unfound. I don't want to get too conspiring.
Allegedly siguro, no, Mark?
Allegedly sa TBM News eh.
Actually,
so for
mas safe yun.
I cannot comment on this news.
Issue.
Because of that. But in light of that, in relation to what you have said, the most prevalent nationality that came across in terms of flight hours that has some legal issues was the Pakistanis. Have you heard of that news?
No.
Pakistan, because they had, I think, 2 crash landings or 1 crash landing that is very fatal that cost the life of so many people. That, of course, interagency aviation governmental institutions started investigating, and they found out that most Pakistani pilots are fake pilots. They don't have the legitimate licenses operating. So there were some stringent, as you say, as you can call it, stringent measures that were imposed upon them. Primarily was firing them. Some of them got suspended until they proved their license legitimate.
Okay.
So in turn, it's not too morbid, no? The punishment that was given to them. It's not punishment, but the sanctions, that was given to them was not too morbid. But to me, it's more of a legal issue. So to me, the thing that really relates to the Macau Airline problem that you are saying is the Pakistani, because it affected us also. I have colleagues who are from Pakistan, and they were cut off from flying for a certain point in time. I think the past month, I think now it's okay because they have proven their licenses to be legitimate. Because one of my friends is a Pakistani, and he's a pilot here, and he was a military official in his country. So I think it's easier for him to prove his legitimacy.
Of course, that military, of course, legit talaga siya.
Exactly, bro, because he was operating, I think, fighter planes in his country. And I'm pretty sure he's in the government, so it's easy for him to procure the documents that he needed to prove his legitimacy as a pilot. So that's a problem. But speaking of Brazilian Portuguese, if you can see, Mark, in my Facebook, most of my friends are Brazilians. And then it connected with our discussion. Most of my friends here are are Brazilians, and man, they are the nicest people you've ever be encountered with. And I'm very happy because in here they're like my family here. They are my extended family. If not for them, I will not survive this freaking pandemic. And I'm so happy that one of my best friends, which is Wagner
of course,
Costa.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wagner Costa. Actually, before I met Wagner, my professor, my buddy, I met his best friend. He was my classmate. His name is Marcus. Marcus and I were classmates when we joined VietJet. They came from Avianca Airlines in Brazil. So he was my classmate, and then we were checked in the same hotel together while doing, not that kind of check-in, okay? The check-in that is provided by the company while doing the training. Because when you arrive here, you are given 21 days of free accommodation. To go through the exams, everything. And if you fail, you're going to go home. Like, you fail, you don't have a job anymore. That's how, it's like a game show, like The Apprentice of Trump, You join, and then you go through a set of examinations. Like, for example, first you have to go through an interview. They will test your knowledge of the aircraft you are flying, which is, now I'm flying the Airbus 320 and 321. So they will test your knowledge on those aircraft. They will ask you about systems and especially emergency procedures. And if you pass, you go through the second stage. And then after the second stage, you get invited here for the ground schooling, which is yung parang after 60 days. If you're not flying for 60 days, you have to go through this kind of schooling again, this kind of training to be certified again as a pilot of the Airbus 321, which is, to me, Airbus 320, 321 is the golden rating, as they call in the airline industry, because it's not so hard for you to look for a job if you lose it and you have that rating, because there's so many airlines that are operating this aircraft. It's cost efficient, it's cost effective, and it doesn't require too much maintenance. Of course, there's maintenance to maintain the aircraft, but that's how important this aircraft. That's why I'm still here. I'm still a pilot. I still have a job because of this aircraft, thankfully,
Yeah.
And so we arrived, right? We came together and everything. And then he said he's Brazilian. And then I told him I jiu-jitsu very much. I cannot train anymore because in the Philippines, I had to focus on my flying, to my training and my work. Because, Mark, I live in Quezon City, and my work every day is in Pasay, which is the base of Philippine Airlines. I used to be a flight steward for Philippine Airlines, and then I became a pilot for Air Philippines, which is named as PAL Express.
Okay.
You know those companies?
No, that's
So I fly Palex, we call it Palex. So after Palex and everything, so I didn't have the time to do my passion, which is martial arts. Because some people will say, why are you wasting your time in this and that? But to me, hobbies, like you, Mark, you love computer games to the depth of your soul.
Not really. No, not really. I'm overworked actually. Actually, nga dapat.
No, but I can see.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's
Go ahead.
look for nowadays. Playing video game is like if I'm really stressed out, then I will play maybe 1 or like maximum maybe 2 hours. Pero lately kasi, kumbaga naging busy kami ni Mama sa work. Pero mga past few months or I think years, maybe a year or so, me and Ma, we go to Muay Thai gym. So
Yeah.
that is our martial art. So it's really funny. Now you're a
Yeah.
grappler, we are strikers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the machismo thing na
Yeah.
joining these things to look good on women.
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
No,
also,
no, no.
we are all male. We are testosterone-driven human beings, But for me, this is more of discipline. Like, you go to the gym, you work out, you go grappling, you get beaten by a kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're the opposite. We're the opposite.
Yeah, because I think yun nga yung sinasabi ko, the difference between striking like boxing or Muay Thai and the difference between jiu-jitsu which is you guys roll like how many times do you roll in a week?
Okay, so to be honest with you, Mark, balik lang ako. I'm just gonna come back to my story with Marcos. Is it okay?
Sure,
Yeah,
no
sure.
problem.
Okay, Marcos and I met. So I said, he's Brazilian. Oh my God, you're Brazilian, blah, 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 blah. You know, I want to go to Brazil. I want to train jiu-jitsu there and everything. Man, I have a best friend. He's also here in Vietnam. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Nice.
So, bro, if you are practicing jiu-jitsu for a very long time, because me, I started doing this thing 2003.
Wow. All right.
I think 2003 or 2004, something on that time. Because my parents lives in Santa Mesa. So that's where I grew up, you know. That's where I grew up. That's where I lived before in Santa Mesa. And I have a neighbor. His name is Orion. His wife is Angelica de la Cruz, the celebrity in the Philippines.
Oh.
Yeah, so he owns the gym because their company is beside our house. We live in a townhouse in Santa Mesa where I grew up, where my family still is. My parents still lives there. So on the other side, it was a big office, a maritime office that deploys seamen abroad. Yeah. So on the second floor of his house, of his office, he turned it into a gym, a small but very nice gym. Way before. So he turned it into a gym, and then upstairs he did laid some mats for jiu-jitsu because he likes jiu-jitsu. And then at that time, during 2002, 2003, when I was still studying in TAF, I had a lot of classmates who are very engaged in Ultimate Fighting Championship. You know that.
Yeah.
URC?
UFC. UFC.
UFC or URC?
and
Sa
then-
Pilipinas may URC tayo, di ba?
UFC
Exactly,
pa.
there's a URCC, there is a UFC and everything, right?
Mm.
So before that, when we were still in high school, Mark, if you would still remember, Mao, during our era, 90s era, I'm sure you're also from the 90s.
Yeah.
So if you will remember, 92, 90, Mark, do you remember this when we were in grade school, I think? Because I know, Mark, you came from a higher batch than me, yes?
Yeah. Actually,
I think a year higher.
actually, not is it grade school na nagkakilala ta? I think more on high school. No,
I
wait.
already know.
I think grade school, tama. It's grade school. I remember kasi kasama
I
kita
don't
sa
know
scout.
if you will remember this. Yeah, yun ang sasabihin ko. I don't know if you will remember this. You were an officer as a Boy Scout before.
You know, Boy Scout?
Officer yan, pare. Isa yan sa mga, I think we have the PL and APL. You remember that?
Those
Patrol leader, assistant patrol leader, di ba? I can see Mark was like I think he's one of the leaders there when I was still a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
I only became a Boy Scout for 1 year. I think I was 1985. And then we had this Mount Makiling, you remember that?
Oh, fuck, yeah. Oh, shit, I remember it.
Yun.
May naalala tuloy ako dyan. Sige lang, go on. Naalala ko yung kakulitan mo eh.
Babae na naman.
So babaero kasi to eh.
No, hindi.
Ayun, no?
Dami-daming maganda. There's so many pretty girls in our school. Why did we not end?
I know.
You know, Ivan, di ba tumatambay ako sa bahay nila, Mark? Di ba tumatambay ako kanila, Mark? Kaya lang ako tumatambay doon, alam mo na. Kasi ang dami.
Alam niyo yung Betamax. Alam siyang Betamax. Pinapatungan niya yung Betamax.
Hindi
Pinapatungan niya. Joke. Anyway, so to continue with my story, by the way, thank you guys. I have this. Because right now I'm studying. So anyway, the question of Mark, how many times I do jiu-jitsu? Right now, I'm doing it a lot because Wagner, which is the black belt guy, and me, so when we met, I think that was around July of last year, I think he was applying for Vietnam Airlines before he came to that time. So for some reason, he ended up in Vietjet, reason I don't need to tell you. Anyway, so there, and then my friend said, this guy is a black belt. And if you will see my friend Wagner, this guy, if you will see him at the get-go, you will not think him as a martial artist because he's very humble. He's a very nice guy, pare. As in, one of the nicest guys na ibang lahi, na different nationality. And he said, I'm a black belt. Oh. And then I said, really? Then he showed me his pictures before, and that's when I said, fuck, this guy is legit. Because his master, bro, his teacher in his camp is one of the most renowned black belt in heavyweight.
Michato?
Leandro Lo, a competitor. Not an MMA, not a UFC competitor, but a jiu-jitsu competitor. Very famous, bro. So I said, holy shit. So at that time, mga time na yun, sabi ko, hopefully we can train together. You can train me. because the black belt in jiu-jitsu, especially the legitimate black belts, right? When I say legitimate, original black belts that train for 10 to 15 years, because that's how hard this art is. I hope you will also try it, because there's a lot of good schools there also in Hong Kong. I think the name is Espada. I went there before, I trained there before, but it's very expensive. So, so we said, blah, 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 blah. Hope you can train me and everything. Hopefully, we can also have a school and everything. So, time goes by, everything. September, when we were here in Yatra, September, October, November, December, January, there was no time to do this at all. If you remember, Mark, during those times, I always text you about movies only. You remember?
Yep, non-stop,
that's
man.
the only thing. That's the only thing. That's the only thing we can do at that time, because we virtually have no time to train, to do gym or anything, because we are flying a lot. Like too much flights, man. And again, back to my topic, masyado na ako off topic.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Go on.
Okay lang.
During that time, when I signed my contract, when I passed all my trainings, my contract was supposed to be mostly for Philippines. We get the 3 weeks working and then 1 week day off. Because 1 week off, we are in Vietnam. We can go home to Manila. The flight is only 2 hours. Anyway. Yeah. I have so much to share to you guys. So to continue my story, so I'm here now. When we came here during September, October, November, December, January, most Filipinos take the 3-1 schedule, which is you work 3 weeks, you go home 1 week, which is more than enough for you to spend your time with family, because in 1 day you can already go home. Because the flight, I always take the Philippine Airlines flight because it's at 9 a.m. So by 1 in the afternoon, clearing the immigration, landing, checking baggage. By 1 p.m., tapos ka na sa airport, you're done. You can go home. So virtually, you can still have 1 more day to party, because me, I'm single. So it's more than enough. Then I decided to...
Wait, I have a question. So sorry to interject. So paano kung sabihin natin, since you're a pilot, so do you have a discount if you're gonna buy a plane ticket? Or is it like...
No. The only discount a pilot or a crew can have, I mean, speaking for all of the pilots or crew, in general, per se, in my knowledge, I don't know how it works with other airlines, is you only get the free ticket, the discounted ticket on the airline you are working.
Yeah.
Okay? But my friends from Brazil told me they have this thing called, I don't know what's it called, but they get discounts to inter-airlines if they have an inter-airline agreement. But for the company I'm working for right now, is the only perks I have is for the own routes of my company. Actually, I bought all of it before December, because in a year we get like 20 free tickets, but that's per sector. When you say per sector, for example, Manila, Vietnam, that's one sector already. So if you will compute it, it's generally 10 free tickets per year. However, JetJet, the company I'm working for right now, is not flying to Manila.
I see.
The only ticket I can use for my benefit is the Nha Trang, which is my base, to Saigon on the time that I work. But if you're on a commuting contract, they give you free tickets. They give you free tickets to go to Saigon, to take your flight to Manila or in Hanoi. So there are two, because Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific, I think, I'm not sure, but I know for a fact that Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific flies out of Saigon to Manila and Hanoi to Manila, Philippine Airlines. I haven't tried Cebu Pacific, but I think they're also flying to Hanoi. Because I'm based in Nha Trang. This is like 200 miles out of north of Saigon, which is it's not the capital. The capital is Hanoi. But Saigon is also like a capital because it's like a center also.
I see.
So that's the thing. To continue with my jiu-jitsu story.
Sure.
So me and Wagner were like, man, let's train. Teach me. Mark, I'm so happy because in the Philippines, if you get to train with a black belt, it's a privilege, man, because you have to pay a lot of money. It's not too much, but it's quite expensive. The jiu-jitsu black belts, if you want to train with them one-on-one, you have to pay this thing called privates. Privates is not cheap, bro. Like for a session, you have to pay as much as $100 to $200 depending on who is teaching you. So Wagner became my friend in work, at work. And then came January, all the flights gets fucked up. Everything gets fucked up because of this shitty pandemic.
Yep.
And Wagner, man, that guy really loves jiu-jitsu, bought his own mats. And he was renting a very nice house before here in Nha Trang. And then he set up the mats. Every day, man. Every day, like 5, 4, 3 times a week, I go. I go to him. He teaches me and everything. Although I did not improve, I'm still shit.
That's fine, man.
Uh,
compared to
yeah.
you and us, me and Mao, it's been a while since we went to the gym.
Yeah, man. You have to take care of your body. So anyway, so he trains me a lot. So instead of me being aggressive, because before when I roll, I use aggression, not technique. But if you would look at the history of Jiu-Jitsu, it was invented by a guy called, I think it was Carlos Gracie.
Oh yeah, the Gracies.
Yeah, Gracie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think, but based on my understanding, Carlos Gracie learned it from a Japanese
Japanese guy,
master.
Mitsuyo Maeda,
Mm.
of judo. Of judo. So actually, this is just a branch of
Yes.
jiu-jitsu, no? But we cannot speak in behalf of them because we don't know the real history behind
Yes.
this, right? But
Yeah.
all I know, I'm gonna tell you all I know, is that this is designed for the small guy, to protect himself against a very big guy.
Bigger guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bigger guy. So there's a philosophy, there's a discipline to respect, which I don't see nowadays in other practitioners. I don't see the respect. And I met my friend. Just because he is my friend, it doesn't mean I have to disrespect him,
Of course.
as my friend.
Yep.
I still show him the respect as a martial artist and everything. I told him I'm gonna start from the bottom of your techniques. Mark, Mao, to tell you the truth, the jiu-jitsu he teaches me, the jiu-jitsu on how he moves, basing on how he moves. And I'm gonna tell you, I hope you'll come here, train with us. Probably one of the best I've ever seen. One of the best I've ever seen. So I stuck with him through the end until now. We had a breakthrough because I started helping him advertising. Mark, we are Filipinos, we are good in these things. In advertising people. So I said, man, let's do this. Let's have a school, talk to this guy and this guy and this guy. And he did it on his own terms and everything. Would you believe, bro, besides from being pilot, he's now teaching in a gym here, bro.
Nice.
I'm so happy.
Nice.
And to tell you another story how this sport, I think for most of the years that I have been doing this is the only year, Mark and Mao, that I really had a breakthrough. Not in terms of fighting jiu-jitsu, but in terms of
Yes.
my mental strength.
Yes,
Yeah.
because jiu-jitsu will make you humble. Actually, I think
Yeah.
every martial arts will make you humble.
Yeah.
It makes you humble. Yeah, but I'm not yet humble still. I'm still on the process of becoming humble. But I think I'll stay this way because this is me. The thing that really break me through here, Mark, is actually, for years, since 2002, I've been trying to have abs. As corny as it sounds. As corny as it sounds. Mark, you know me, I'm not thin, I'm not fat, but I'm normal guy, right? We grew up together.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
In comparison between the three of us, Mao is the heavyweight. I'm in the, it's like obese, and I'm
Middle.
fat, and you're the fit
Yes.
one.
The breakthrough of this year is not just of these things. The breakthrough I had this year is the realization that if you choose the people you surround, you will be successful.
Yun.
For me, my success this year came from the change in my physique, came to the resilience I had right now in terms of looking my financial problems. I had many financial problems also. Man, Mark, I just look this way, but man, to be honest, because of this pandemic, fuck. I got fucked, but I know I get through this, I'm still young, we are still young and everything. And, that's the breakthrough that I had this year is to look things, not the way I look at it before. Because I'm surrounded with good. Number one is a jiu-jitsu teacher. And of course, my other best friend here, Marcus and Wagner. It's been very instrumental, of my growth here as a human being, Pare, I will tell you a story. Since 2002, I've been trying to cut weight. I've been trying drastic measures using money to buy supplements, to go through, these things, to join a very expensive gym and everything like that. To be honest with you, since 2002 until 2019, no fucking success at all. Zero, bro. And then this year came, okay? January came. I had a friend here, also one of my best friends, a Filipino pilot. His name is Yudi. He came from the same company as me. And then I told him, man, because he's also having problems with his health. And because here in Vietnam, we had the annual medical checks. They check your blood pressure thoroughly, your blood, your everything. They check thoroughly, bro. If you fail, you're going to have a lot of problems. It's either you get suspended or you have to do something. And you're not going to fly. You're an expat. You're not going to make money, which I'm very separate. At that time, Mark, during December, January, just to highlight what I'm going to say, you know how much I weigh, bro? I'll be honest with you. I'm almost 200 pounds, pal.
Huh?
You know, my
100?
height is... yes, bro.
What is 200
I'm
pounds in kilogram?
173. My height is 173. That's almost 5'8", you know?
It's
That's
90
way
kilos, right?
beyond my body mass index requirement, bro.
Wow.
It's
Inspiring,
obvious already. Yeah. So this guy, my friend,
Holy
Yuji,
shit.
introduced
200 pounds. So I'm actually 200 pounds right now.
Yes, my friend. You know, Mark, if you would see that's my weight. And I'm beginning to have problems with my nape. Every time I wake up, I feel so dizzy. I feel tired all the time. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, shit, I'm already 36. I'm 35 at that time. Now I'm 36. This is not funny anymore. I have to do something. Again, to tell you, I had many experience with fitness before because I wanted to lose weight, right? I had many experience with different coaches and everything. They did everything they could, but in the end, it's nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing really happened because my aim was to look good physically. So this year came, I met these Brazilian friends of mine, Brazilian pilots, for my jiu-jitsu help. And then I met Yuji. And then he introduced me to, man, I'm going to promote them because they really did something very drastic. His name is Timothy Emil Ngo. He owns this company. Well, I think his partner. I don't really know the history of this health firm. This is a monthly paid service, no? Which is called the Architect Philippines. They started, I think, around 2007. Man, judging, I had the experience with these things before. I even buy diets, fat diets, like they will deliver to your house. You are on a calorie deficit and everything, but that doesn't work, to be honest. For me, it did not work. But maybe for others, it works. But for me, it did not work. So, the idea of this company is they will give you your nutritional needs every month, you know, and everything. And then I said to myself, shit, this is another one of those shit things that I sign up for. And then he sent me a set of menus that I have to cook on my own besides from paying them. You understand?
Oh,
so I said,
doble.
Okay, exactly. So I'm just gonna do this for 1 month, I said. After this is shit. This is not gonna work for me again. And then I noticed with that guy, with Timothy, he constantly texts you. He checks on you, bro. Like you're like his girlfriend. Pero lalaki yun. Pero ganun siya, no? You can see, can you see your weight today? Can you send me a photo? Everything, ganun siya, pare.
Everyday yun? Is that everyday?
Well, the methodology, his methodology is you have to do it every 7 days. But I think, for my cause, I think he was quite alarmed because I asked a lot of questions, pare. Like a wannabe expert, like I know so many things, you know? And then, I noticed with him, because most of the coaches in the Philippines, I'm sorry, is if you do this, after you have paid them already, they don't give a shit about you. I'm sure you had that kind of experience in the health industry in the Philippines. You don't give a shit. You know, before you paid, they come to you like a freaking dog. And then after you pay them, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit to you anymore. They don't care. That's what you will see. And then, like for example, before I went to a gym day, there's a lot of personal trainers who does this thing called the table. So you pay them a slightly lower amount than what the gym is offering for you to have a physical training one-on-one, yeah?
Yeah.
So you will pay it in a slightly lower amount, and then it's under the table, it's off the books, and then of course, di naman porket we're earning a lot of money, so we have to spend like crazy, right, Mark? We don't do that. So we look for means to cut costs also while getting the best quality of service we can have, right? So, you know, you started doing this, then because the number one attraction for physical training one-on is they show you their body like, fuck man, I'm ripped, I have big muscles and everything. Syempre ikaw, as a client, you'll get enticed. Right?
True.
You're getting, fuck, I want to look like that at least once in my life, right? So, ikaw, may entice ka, you'll be enticed, you'll start talking to them, and then they'll start to talk to you also. But the thing is, it's a business proposition for them, for their own advantage only, you know? It's not advantageous for both sides. That's what I realized after all these years. After you pay them already, they will just tell you what to do, okay? After they tell you what to do, because it's under the table, they will go back to their jobs and then starts texting, which makes you feel insulted because you paid them and they're not looking after you, you know?
Yes, agreed. Agree.
So those are my most experiences with them. Then I met this guy, Timothy, the architect. He just sent a freaking email of the list of foods that I have to cook and I have to eat. After that, no more, because he has 2 services. His services is you will subscribe for the meal plan, and then you can subscribe for workout plan. So at first I told him, can I take the workout plan and meal plan? And then can you send me your statistics first? When I say statistics is your weight and mainly kung ano itsura mo, on how you look like. That's where he will base what you will do. You know what he told me that really caught my attention was he told me, no, I will not give you any workout services. I will just let you do the meal plan for this month. So at that moment, I began asking myself, why doesn't he want me to have any workout? I've been workout my whole life, Mark. And then he told me, a very interesting is that I want you to fix your nutrition. I go, no, I'm not gonna get the abs that I want. If you're not gonna give me workout, just listen to me. Man, January, my first plan with Tim came. I was not really complying it, bro, because I was eating every day because we were flying January.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still eating whatever I want, including the meal plan. So imagine, bro, I have to go to the grocery to buy the foods that I have to cook and everything, which is not painstaking. It's very simple. Very simple. You get to eat the food that you needed only on a portional. You have to portion it properly on the weight that he's giving to the weight. So I started to tell myself, fuck, this is all I have to eat on the first month. And then, of course, no. I go out because there's a lot of good restaurants here.
Oh, fuck yes.
There's a lot.
Of course, yes. Vietnam.
And it's very, very cheap, man. And it's very, very good. I love it here. Especially the fruits, bro. There's like, when you go out, you go down, fruit shake everywhere. Fruit shake. When you turn right, it's a fruit shake. When you turn right, it's avocado. When you turn left, it's mango. Like, you have no choice but to drink.
Yeah.
So, that's what happened to me and everything. I still eat. And then I noticed one thing, bro. For example, in one day, I will eat the whole meal plan that he's giving while flying. Babaon ako. I bring it with me in my flight, and then I try as much as possible to comply. But after the flight, you get so exhausted, especially before we fly a lot of international. You get so exhausted when you arrive, like, for example, 6 or 7 p.m. There's a lot of restaurants that's still operating at that time. So, syempre, what will you tell yourself? Instead of eating this shit plan, I'll go out and eat all this meal again because, man, why am I giving this hard time to myself, right?
Yeah.
So I have to enjoy it. Exactly. So in turn, pare, you would notice I'm eating outside of my caloric requirements, but I'm still losing weight. I'm still losing weight, bro. Yes. So I said, there's something magical happening. Like I said, because they said it many, many times, the secret to have an abs is in the kitchen, you know? They've been saying that for many years, and I did not believe it. I still eat whatever I want. Especially in Manila, Mark, right? Wine, fuck, hawan, you know. This is where we grew up in Binondo, di ba?
Oh,
We grew up in
syempre.
a Chinese and so, you know, okay. I said to myself, okay, it's working. I lost probably around 2 kilos at that time of not eating properly, okay? So, 18 days in, I will never forget this. 18 days in, I removed my shirt, Mark, on my first month. And I noticed I've been eating very strictly with cheats. And my tummy is starting to flat out, you know. Probably it's the muscle that I built before because I've been lifting a lot and everything. And then second month came, I said, okay, I'm gonna continue this at least once in my life. Biglang nangyari yung pandemic. Pandemic happened. Okay? When the pandemic happened, on the first month, how to say, it was like a life reset for all of us. You know?
Yeah.
It's like life reset. You begin to contemplate on your life. you begin to Mark. You remember this? This is the time that I was forcing you to play Call of Duty with me every day.
Yep, and I was so busy as fuck at work. I was like, I can't, man. I can't. I'm building a 3D version of the mountain at the back.
So I was stuck in before I was living in a more gloomy condominium. Mark saw it because we were.
Yeah.
Now I'm living in a more beach-like condo. It's better and it's cheaper, of course. So at that time, I told myself, hey, pare, in-English ko na lang kasi ipapasa ko to sa mga.
Sure, no problem, man.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure, no problem, no
Mostly
problem.
foreigner.
Yeah.
Sure.
No problem, man. Just go on.
English. Okay, man. Filipinos are the best English speakers.
Yeah, and we can also change our accent in English if we wanted to. We can do
Mark,
British
do.
accent.
Mark, do.
It's up to you guys. So anyway, pandemic happened. I'm just gonna keep talking about myself.
Sure, no problem. Go on.
Sure.
Because I'm a good guy. So pandemic happened. And I had a lot of time in my hands, you know. But the first thing that comes across my mind is that I'm already 36 years old.
Yeah.
So I asked myself, what is it that I really wanted to achieve aside from getting meds? What's my greatest frustration? You know? I asked myself those. Number one, of course, is my relationship because me and Mark, I don't know about you, Mark, because I only met you today. We came from a
Yeah,
Catholic
sure.
school.
Yeah, Saint
So
Stephen, right?
I don't know about Mark nowadays. What's his deal? But you know, we are deeply rooted in our relationship with Jesus Christ, right? And of course, we came from an environment. Me and Mark in Saint Stephen's, we came from an environment of a God first before anything. Diba, Mark?
Yeah.
Christ be exalted. That's
Yeah.
our motto.
But
That's our,
to correct you, our school actually is Protestant school. But of course, majority of us is not really Protestant. It's Roman Catholic. That is
Yeah,
our
Catholic.
religion
yeah,
actually.
sorry.
Mm.
Yeah, our religion is Protestant.
No, the school.
But, sorry, our
School, the
religion is
school.
Roman Catholic, but the
Mm.
practice of Saint Stephen is Protestant,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
why
Yeah.
it's.
to me
Mm,
entirely related to a born again Christians like CCF,
yeah.
Grace Gospel Church, which is
Victory.
most likely, yeah. But CCF and Grace Gospel is probably the population that started is mainly Filipino Chinese
Mm.
that came from these schools like Grace Christian, Saint Stephen's, Hope Christian High School. Diba, Mark? This is our to cut the story short. This is our background.
Yeah,
you know?
now you
We cannot,
reminded me of that background because I completely forgot about those stuff. Actually, then I realized, oh yeah, my school is not Roman Catholic but it's Protestant. But that's why
Protestant, you're right.
when we were in our school during the time, because in our school, to the listeners, in our school we are there's like times that we need to go to church, like all of us, like per year, right? And what's
Per
funny
month,
is-
per month, bro.
per month, and then per
That's
month we go.
We have
But
to
I mean by
to-
like year section.
yeah.
Like for example, if you're third year in high school, fourth year in high school, every fourth year's classroom will go to the church, right? Remember we have that schedule. Like for example, all
Yes,
first year
then-
student will go to the church. Then after that, all the second year student will go to the church. But the funny thing is when we were young, and of course I never really like because the difference between Catholic, I think, and Protestant religion is almost the same, except for the Protestant, they don't have those, saints. We just believe in Jesus Christ. That's it. That's
And
what
the
I
images.
remember. But in Catholic, we do have like saints. Yeah, I think that is the only difference. But most likely the same. Yeah,
Yeah, bro. Like what I've said, no. This is to go back to the story.
yeah, sure.
This is I asked myself this question on lockdown. I asked myself the question. What is it that I really wanted to achieve? That's been really bothering me my whole fucking life. And as corny, as little, as rubbish as it will sound, is number one is to have abs.
Bro, it's not just you, man. It's just me and Mao. But the point is, we are way beyond ab saving.
Yeah, we
No,
have
no.
only one ab.
Yeah, we only have one
No.
ab. It's like ab.
Ab.
Nah. But to be honest, Mark, I was also in the same shape that you guys are in right now, probably, or not, or maybe I'm even a worse condition because I'm eating like crazy, when I wake up during September, October, November, pag day off ko, when it's my day off after a flight. For example, I flew 3 days straight to China, which is very exhausting, but very rewarding, of course, financially. So I flew, for example, those kind of flights. When I come back, the first thing that goes to my mind is to go home and sleep and watch Netflix. So, for example, tomorrow is my day off, right? For example, you fly 25 hours in 1 week. So, you will get probably 2-3 days off. Man, you know what I'm doing? I will lock myself in my room. I will buy a lot of M&M, Hello Panda, Choco Pie. I love this stuff. Man, breakfast. My breakfast is Choco Pie while watching 5 episodes of Lucifer. My lunch is M&M, like a freaking jar of it, while watching another set of Korean novela, while crying.
Oh my god, that is the gayest shit, man. No, I'm okay. I'm not being homophobic. I'm just saying when I say the word gay, it means lame. All right, for those listeners, we are not homophobic. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, we're not.
To be honest with you, Mark, Korean novela, get me in touch with my feminine.
No, don't worry.
No.
Don't worry, man,
No.
because
Joke lang.
No.
I just kidding,
Okay, go on, Mao.
all of us here
So-
watching
so-
Korean dramas.
No, but
Yeah. So
Yeah.
recently I watched Korean
the
TV
point is-
show, but I was watching those detective Korean TV show, which is
Yeah, me too.
really good. The way they write the story is well written. That's all I can
Actually,
say.
I just finished Signal, Mark. So So maybe
Signal is
later
good.
we'll try the other.
Have you seen it? Signal and Tunnel.
What?
Signal.
Signal and
No, I
Tunnel.
haven't.
Oh, try to watch it.
Ah,
It's
man,
good.
try it.
Okay.
You might
I'll try
cry.
to watch it. What I,
You might
bro,
cry it at
I'm
the
watching,
end, but
I'm watching right now is it's okay not to be okay.
Oh, fuck.
oh yeah, my wife watch it. Yeah, my
Not
wife
me.
watching it. Yeah.
Not me. You know what okay, what I'm watching right now in Netflix. Before we go back to your main story, I'm watching Ghost Fighter in Philippines, but we all know it as Ghost Fighter. But now in Netflix, it's Yu Yu Hakusho, Ghost File.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one is like it brings back memories, so that's why I'm watching it.
Oh, fucking amazing. Before Mark, do you remember I downloaded the whole, I forgot what season is it, about the Dragon Ball. Because when I was a kid, when we were young, right, we didn't have
Of course.
too much access. On
Which
this.
one? Which Dragon Ball? GT.
The one that has Majin Buu, the Majin Buu saga.
That's the
Dragon Ball Z, the
yeah,
original
yeah,
one.
Yeah, yeah. The Z.
My idol is Trunks. You know Trunks?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you,
only
Mao
at
is
this
a biggest Dragon Ball fan, man. So he knows everything.
No,
It's
no.
only right, bro. It's only right now that I realized Trunks came.
Also
You
in
remember when they fought Cell?
Yeah.
It was Trunks who warned Goku that something's gonna happen. Galing palang future si Trunks noon. Putang ina. Ngayon ko
Yeah.
na-realize.
Because back then we're young and stupid, man.
No! Because when we were younger, you remember, Mark, there was a little shop. I think it was Fun Avenue.
Oh yeah, Fine Avenue. I
Remember
know.
that
I remember the place.
They are the only shop that can sell mangas. Which is
Yeah, manga
very
comics.
popular.
Yeah, all those original Dragon. I remember during that
Yeah.
time. If you buy those comics are fucking expensive. And
Very
then
expensive.
the only people who can read it actually is people who actually read Chinese, because almost all of those
Yeah.
comics is all in Chinese. It's not in English. During that time, there's
No,
no.
man, it's in Japanese. It's in
No.
Japanese.
Is it in Japanese? But I remember there's
Yes,
also
it's in
Chinese
Japanese.
text, right?
Bro, we don't need to read it when we were younger. We just look at the pictures.
Oh, yeah,
the
of
sequence
course.
of the pictures.
Yeah.
That's what we do before.
Yeah, and
Then you
it's- remember,
create your own
to cut-
story.
to cut, remember when we were young, we read the comics Lahuzi.
Yes! The author is dead, man.
Oh fuck! But anyway, that comic, for the listeners out there who don't know that comic, that is like it is a Chinese comic book strip, but it doesn't
It is like
really
Mr.
require you to read Chinese, because it's like every page is like a minimum of 4, maximum of I think. Like 6 panels of strip, and then you just look at the picture, because it's already numbered by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's it. When you look at it, you'll laugh because it's a comedic cartoon strip. But I remember when I was young, I don't know how I acquired this particular version of that comic book, but they have one comic book that is like a freaking graphic novel. It's numbered, if I'm not mistaken, it's like numbered from 1 to 500 strip. It's not. Yeah, I have that one, and that one has a lot of dialogues, which is, of course, I don't read Chinese, right? Even though we studied in Chinese school, I don't read any Chinese at all. But majority of it, you can still understand the whole story because it was illustrated very well. It's still funny, but that particular version of that comic book is for me, it's like unprecedented because it's 1 to 300 strip out of, like, usually it's just 1 to 4 strip or 1 to 6. I think 6 is like enough. It's 1 page. So anyway, we will try to Google it, and I will try to share it to you, Mal, so you can understand what I'm talking about. But that particular comic book is like, when we were young, we go to the library and read it, and we just laugh our ass off because it's really funny. Because majority of it doesn't have any text. It's just picture, but it's well illustrated, and it's really funny. That's what I remember.
Going back to this story, these are the
go
times where we watch porn at Channel 5, 12 in the midnight. Do you remember those times?
What?
These are the times.
Channel
No,
There,
Channel 5?
yeah, ABC 5 or IBC 13. When it's 12 midnight, the channel becomes a soft.
I know there's in cable, like Channel 6
yeah,
Plus.
the Japanese.
Cable.
Yeah,
The Jan-
the
the
blurry
Japanese
one, then when you just like see the blurry boobs, like, oh, yeah, I can see it clearly now. I just
Yeah.
use my mind.
Yeah.
Then jack
No,
off.
meron, there's one. There's one in IBC 13. It's called Bikini Open, I think.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit, man.
They're wearing in
We-
bikinis.
Mm.
Yeah,
Look, okay, for the
it was
listeners out there,
90s.
that's fine.
okay,
That's fine for us.
for the listeners out there who are young, if there is a listener who are young, man, let me tell you something. you boys don't know don't know shit about how to see some porn shit,
imagine.
because nowadays everything is on the internet and it's free. But back in the day, it's either you use your
a
mind,
struggle.
man, use your fucking imagination. So
It's a struggle, man.
I'm telling you, back in the day, kids are really, really good at imagining things. We are really, we're really good at at thinking, imagining, and basically like fuck. But nowadays, everything is spoon fed, right? You know, if you're lonely, go into the internet and search for those shit. But back in the day, you use your mind, man.
By the way, Mao, what is your background? What school you came from? I
I
know
came
you're
from
also an architect
came from the RG. It's Catholic school.
in
Yeah,
Manila or in the
yeah,
province.
in Parañaque, Parañaque.
Ah,
So shout out
okay.
RGMS because we have a last episode which is my classmates. So it's just
Okay.
like we most of the time we were laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the first time that I actually interviewed one of my schoolmates back in high school. So you're the first,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
uh,
So I'm very happy, yeah.
yeah.
So anyway,
All right,
Yeah.
go back
asking
to your story.
about Protestant school. Pare,
after
bro,
porn then Protestant school.
yeah. So remember those times, diba, Mark? So back to the story, which is the story of my lockdown story. So when we were younger, we came from a Protestant school, which is Saint Steve. We are deeply uprooted with Jesus Christ, right?
Yep.
We believe that He died for our sins, and we put Him first. Actually, it's not just monthly that we do this prayer thing in St. Stephen's. Every morning, after we recite the Panatang Makabat, and after we sing the national anthems, we will
Oh yeah.
remember that, Mark? The
Yeah,
whole
I
school
remember.
prays every damn day, bro. Every day. So we are so lucky to be part of this kind of school because the respect to the Lord is there, you know? Because no matter what you do in life, no matter how successful future is, if you don't do it for that guy, our Lord, it means nothing. That's how we were brought up. You know, I think Mark. No, I know. I mean, in Mark's heart, I think in my heart, and most of our classmates, speaking on behalf, is that this is how we go by. This is our guiding principle. So, and coming from school, syempre, that's the first thing I said to myself. I wanna reestablish my relationship with the Christ, with Lord, and everything. I wanna recommit. Oh, by the way, Mark, I forgot to tell you. I was rebaptized 2007 in Grace Gospel Church as a born-again Christian. Grace Gospel Church is very near my house. It's in Santol. It's also a Filipino-Chinese church, but of course, it's open to everyone, but mostly the population is that, you know. I was baptized by Boksu, David Go, Elder Tanchi, the brother of Peter Tanchi, I think, from Christ Commission Fellowship. So anyway, so I said to myself, I've been backsliding, doing a lot of crazy things, and womanizing left and right and everything, which is not good, and which is, to be honest, it fucked up my mind, you know, these things, the temptation of the world fucked up my mind. The pandemic, on its first 2 months, brought it to my attention that I'm already burning in hell, those kind of realizations. So I said to myself, maybe this is the reason why my life is not progressing. So I started writing down my own diary, especially with the sins I'm committing and everything, the fucking thoughts that I have in mind every day. And that's where I realized I'm leading my life to a disaster, which is very alarming for me. And it became a very prevalent thought in my head in the time of pandemic. Because before I came back to Vietnam, because by the way, I forgot to tell you, my roster is like it's not the same as most of my fellow countrymen. 3 weeks working, 1 day off, 1 week off. I took the 6 weeks working and 2 weeks off, you know, because I wanted to spend more time with my father and my 2 sisters. So I came home in Vietnam, February 20. I came back, I think February 7 or February 6. I came home. I spent those 2 weeks with them. In the morning until the evening, I will spend it with them. Siyempre, I'm an OFW. I earned some money and everything. At night, I have an extra money to spend whatever it is I want to do.
Yes.
And I realized at that moment, I said, teka lang, wait a moment. I think I'm spending this wrong. I think I'm doing this wrong because I party, I do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, my savings is fucked up already. I'm using it already. And I said, this is wrong, blah, 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 blah. Okay, when I go back to Vietnam, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to restart my life, you know, at 36, which is very late already. I spent my birthday in, doing shit things, you know. So when I came back, and Mark, I came back
Mhm.
here in Vietnam. My schedule was supposed to be mainly Korea and China flights.
Oh.
So, okay, in the back of my head, again, so I can party again when I go home. So, pandemic came.
Yeah.
Man, this is the reason I started shit. It's
That's
because,
good.
because I think it was March. Kasi I'm supposed to work 42 days, right? And then go home. I filed for an extension leave to have almost 1 month vacation to combine 2 weeks days off.
Mhm.
So my plan was to do dubious things, crazy things. For the 1 month I asked. So it was approved, right? Na-approve yung bill ko. So sabi ko, marami na naman ako katarantadong magagawa. Diba? Kasi, bro, counting for the salary that I'm gonna have because of the flights that I'm gonna be doing, more than enough. Like, shit, I've never earned this kind of before.
Oh, same. Same.
Yeah. So, shit, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off. Plus 2 weeks to party like crazy, to do shitty things in Manila.
So 1 month.
1 month.
Yeah.
Came. So, my vacation was supposed to be, I think, March something or April, first week or something. Biglang nag-close yung border pa.
Oh,
Borders
lockdown.
closed. No, this is the funny. I had a best friend also here. One of my good friends also. Brazilian guy also. But he cannot wait to go home. He really forced himself to go home. So he was supposed to go on the 25th of March yata. And I was supposed to go at 28th. I already have the ticket to go home. I paid for it already. So he came out 25th. By the 28th at 27th, the government announced a lockdown. But once you go out, you cannot come back.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Technically, I can still go out at that time, but I'm never coming back.
Yes. Same here. Actually, same here. So that's why we never went out.
Yes. So, if that's gonna happen, I told myself, especially me, I'm in a fucked up situation financially. I cannot afford to lose my job, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I said, okay, I will pay for a rebooking. I paid for the rebooking, Mark. Paid for the rebooking. I changed my vacation, which is very tedious to do because, the rostering in an airline is one of the hardest jobs because it's not easy to balance the schedule of us, because we are paid by the hour in my airline. Unlike the other airline wherein they get paid guaranteed hours. So constant yung income nila. Their income is constant. Us, it's also good, but you can earn more if you fly more. You understand? We are paid which is, to me, is better because if you want to work, you work. If you don't want to work, then you don't get paid as much as you want. Right? So we are Filipinos. We work hard. That's our main asset. That's our main advantage. No?
Yep.
We work hard compared to other nationalities. They also work hard, but I believe our people, our country, the way we were brought up, we work hard.
Yes, I can attest to that because we Filipinos is different. We like I always said, the difference between us OFW people, because we always want to prove them that we can do the job even if it's difficult. We want to prove that we can do the shit. Unlike other race, especially based on my experience, especially Western, if they don't like the job, fuck it, I'm leaving. I don't care. That's how they. That's
they
how
are
they
more.
think.
I think it's not like that. I think to me the explanation is they are more liberated.
Yeah.
They have a more understanding of freedom.
Yes.
So to speak.
And
also
they get the
let's not
job.
forget. Yeah. Let's not forget they came from rich countries.
Yep, that's it.
We came from a country that is on the borderline of poverty.
Yeah.
That's why we are exposed to it. So I think that's the main ethnic explanation on these things, But back to the story, pare. Back to the things I'm trying to say. Is that these things, factored out during the pandemic on my end. Nasabi ko sa sarili ko, I told myself, what the fuck am I doing, right? I'm working crazy. I'm saving some cash, but not too much. But what is this for? What is this for? Para saan? What's the purpose of all this, I'm single. I'm still single. I still don't have a kid. So wala akong inuwi. I have no one to go to except for my parents. I have no one to get into. I have no one to share any of the success. So I started reflecting to myself and started asking the question, what's going on, So that's when I realized during this pandemic, on the first 2 months, there's a lot of things that is wrong with me. So I have to correct this. I have to rectify. So what's the things that are bothering me? As lame as it sounds. The first one is my relationship with you. Now pray more than ever, but not too much, I don't want to sound so narcissistic din naman in terms of diba? So, second thing is my physical goal is really hampering me. It's in my head every day. So I said, okay, this is what I do. Since I'm paying for the service of Timothy, I'm going to comply with it 100% with vanity. So that's what I did. I started complying. Pare, totoo yung sinasabi nila. It's true. Food is the number one key, is the number one medicine to everything. Mark, would you believe? I was weighing 184 pounds at that time because I'm already cutting down in January with the cheat meal I'm having, right? So I'm 200. So I lost 16 pounds of water. Water yon, water retention. Kaya bloated talaga. I'm bloated every day, pare. Every fucking day for the past, I think, 7 years. So, bloated. So, I started losing water weight. I started to urinate more than ever. Then, I started waking up early. Like, I started waking up at 9. Usually, I wake up at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I sleep at probably around 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 in the morning. And then I wake up 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. That's how my timeline is.
That's 12 hours.
Yes, that's a fucked up life, man. You don't sleep that much every day.
Man, you're hibernating.
No, it's not privilege. Man, it's bad. That is really bad because the average person sleeps to 7 to 8 hours. Probably the optimum sleep you can have it at 5 hours, and then just to get through the REM, the rapid eye movement cycle. Because we are adjusting to this called circadian cycle, pare. Because we are airline pilots. Our working hours is really round the clock. So we don't have constant working hours of 8 to 5, these things. No? So on this week, probably you'll be flying at, let's say, 10 in the evening. You go home 6 in the morning. Tomorrow, you fly at 3 in the afternoon. You go home at 10 in the evening. So that's how our schedule goes. That's why my mindset before this pandemic happened, is after I've worked for 42 days, I'm going home immediately. And then the pandemic happened. That's when I started discovering the beauty, the importance of time. So I started reflecting and I said, this physical goal I have has been bothering me, so I'm going to address it right now. As corny as it sounds, as little as it sounds, as rubbish as it sounds, I mean, if you talk with other guys and you start telling them these things, tatawanan ka lang nila, they will just laugh at you. What? You're talking about abs, health, and everything? Are you crazy? That's too lame. To them, it's too lame. But to me, it's a big deal. I have to address this. So I addressed it. I started complying with my diet while watching Netflix, 100% strict. First month came, okay? It came March, then April, then came May, pare. I was 100% complying with my plan, which is the architect diet plan, which is mainly caloric deficit. That's the secret. There's no other way. You have to discipline yourself. If you're hungry, you have to get through until your body adjusts, So it's a caloric deficit. And then it sounds so simple, but when I start doing it, it gets harder by the month. So I came to a month, which is May, breakthrough. The moment I removed my shirt, I started seeing things that I've never seen before. And it made me so freaking happy, man. Like really, Mark, I've been posting it a lot in my Facebook, right? Which to me, I think other people will say, oh, he's annoying, he's arrogant. No, this is my achievement. I've worked hard on this.
Yeah.
I will keep on flaunting it, That's what people don't understand. Sometimes when you flaunt something, it comes across to them as being attractive. No, to me, it's a culmination of the hard work that you put through something. And when I saw myself like that, like one spine on my heart has been removed. I can now safely tell myself, okay, I've achieved this. Now it's time to, right? So another thing I did. So this is what my realization. So it turned with this kind of discipline. It changed my outlook in the pandemic. As a pilot also, and as a martial artist, and as a person, changed my life. Especially how I look things. Right before, I used to panic a lot and everything, and now I realize the importance of time. And you can heal through time. You can heal through time, and you can heal through food. And nothing is lost when you're backsliding with your relationship. It's very important, especially for us Filipinos who are mainly Catholics and Christians or born-again Christians. As long as we believe that He died for our sins, I consider you as a Catholic or a Christian. And this is very important. So my perception in life changed. The way I look at things changed. Now, I'm ready to accept failure. As an example, pare, of what been going on I'll be honest with you. Recently, I joined a tournament, a jiu-jitsu tournament. Okay?
Where?
So, in Saigon. I had to take the bus for that because the airfare is very expensive. It's an 8-hour bus fare, and it's in the province in Saigon. So it was a very painstaking experience. So I went to the tournament. I represented my friend, Wagner Costa,
Yeah.
in the tournament as his first student. I came there haphazardly, unprepared, because I think this is a manifestation on how I respect time.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm in a good condition. I'm in a best shape of my life, but technically, in terms of fighting jiu-jitsu, I'm not yet there. I'm still at the blue belt level. I'm still there, and I'm not yet progressing. But with the help of Wagner, my good friend, my teacher, my sensei, I started looking at this in a very realistic way. But I told him, he said to me, why did you make that decision without consulting others? I know he got insulted at some point, but I told him, man, if I don't do this now, judging by the schedule that we have, we will never compete. Our team will never compete. We will never have this opportunity. And then, okay, go. He supported. That's what I love about Brazilian team. If you're friends with them, they are more Filipinos than us. A real Filipino is very compassionate. They support their friends until they die. But recently, I've been seeing it, right? When you grew up in the 90s, I'm a bit of an asshole when I was young. Alam ni Mark yan. Mark knows about it. I lost many good friends in St. Stephen's. I lost many, many good friends because of my attitude. It's my fault, okay? But the attitude of my classmates in St. Stephen's, like Mark, I have many friends, Denny, Quintayo, they are all... Mark's friends are all my friends. I think I became friends with them before Mark even became friends with them. Diba, Mark?
Yeah, sort of. Or I think it's almost at the same time, because everybody. The reason why I became friends with them also because of Scout. So we became friends because of Boy Scout.
Because of the Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, doesn't matter anymore as long as we're fighting. So he supported me, pare, in the end. I saw his passion to support me, but I know deep inside his heart, I'm gonna get into trouble. And then he has many Brazilian friends inside Go who also had teams and schools that competed in the tournament. Okay. Then he called one of his manos, Irmão.
Yeah, Irmão, friend.
They called, to guide me in the tournament. So that speaks for itself that this guy is really my friend, And then before I came, he gave me his blessing, he gave me patches, he gave me his shirt, the only shirt he printed, everything. And then I believe in you. The tournament, to be honest, is slightly differently organized than most of the events. Because I thought I was gonna fight someone who is at the same level as me. And then it turns out, the guy I was fighting, I was caught in a very red-handed mess, was a teacher and a purple belt. Purple belt is the next to brown belt, then black belt.
Yeah.
And then I found out the guy was a teacher. And I'm like, he's doing this his whole life. And me, I'm just an occasional... To be honest, I can still consider myself as a weekend warrior in Jiu-Jitsu. I got choked out. Sino mo ako, pare? So sabi ko, papahiya. I'm humiliated in global episodes. We also have many Vietnamese... Wagner, through his Jiu-Jitsu, has followers of Vietnamese students already. And I had many Vietnamese classmates in Wagner School that is very, very knowledgeable about the jiu-jitsu that's going. Then someone said to me, Ivan, do not be ashamed of what you did. You represented us, blah, 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 and everything. And you fought a purple belt and a teacher. How can you win?
Yeah.
So that's explained it. But the thing is, after my failure, that's when I tested it. Alam mo ba, if you go back in time, if I had this kind of failure, I will go downward spiral. Immediately, I will lose my diet, I will forget about cars, I will start cursing. Actually, it happened to me again. It's a flashback, So I lost the tournament. I felt so humiliated and everything. The first 3 days, I was cursing. I hated myself so much. And I started regressing, If this was the younger I will still be regressing until now. I will still be in regret until
Oh, yeah,
now.
I can see that, man. I can see that. I can imagine that.
You know what I mean? It's like someone you really like a girl that you really like. Maybe this you can relate. And then you gave everything to her, and then suddenly she breaks your heart. You understand?
Of course.
So that's the same feeling I had with Jiu-Jitsu tournament I came into, because I prayed, I trained, I did everything I could, I still lost. First 3 days, after my loss, I was so angry with myself. I was so angry to the Lord and everything. Why did you not bless me and everything, blah, 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 blah. But on the third day, Timothy, Emil, the architect, owner, started texting me, pare. He said, I've been telling him what I've been doing. And then he said to me, pare, so, ano ngayon if you lost? What is it? What's the point? That's how you learn and everything. And these are the things that you already know by heart. But you needed to hear it to someone else just to give you an overview on how it is that when you are losing. You know what Wagner did to me, my teacher? When I came back, he said he wants to meet me, okay? He wanted to meet me. He said to me, okay, I will talk to you as my student and then we need to talk. So I came here. He said he's with family because his family, I consider his family also my family. He has a wife, he has 2 kids, girls, beautiful girls, you know. So he said, come, let's talk. So I said, okay, let's talk on the phone. No, I want to see you. Then we met in a shopping mall, pare, here with the restaurant because he knows I love barbecue. So let's have barbecue. So, okay, I came. So, naka-grab bike pa. Kasi the means of transportation here is mainly grab bike.
Yeah.
Because scooters are very prevalent here. So I started to go and come. I was on time because most of the time if I go to him, I'm always late. So he said, oh, I want to meet you in the lobby, he said. So I said, in my mind, I thought, we're just going to talk for a few minutes and then go. And then I said, let's go. So we went, pare. Even my Filipino friends never did this to me. Wow. He surprised me with all of my teammates. Then they put the banner of our school in the restaurant. Man, touch my heart, bro. As gay as it sounds.
You cry like a bitch, I know.
As girl as it sounds, man. I'm like, they all came there, you know,
Support.
all of my classmates, the family, Evaldo, the other guy with his family, all of his boys are there. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm so lucky to have these people by my side. You know the word, hindi the word, it's a phrase that says, your efforts are not in you. That's how it played out to me. You know? And then I said to the Lord, you know, I'm really sorry. You know? I may lose the fight. I did not lose my friends. I gained respect.
Yeah.
And to me, as a human being, that's very important. It's a life-changing experience that I'm having right now. So to me, the people I'm surrounded with, especially right now, even though it's a paid service with Timothy in the architect and everything, and in Wagner as my colleague and everything, these 2 guys changed my life. They changed my life. They made me achieve my goals, and I'm very happy. So to me, this pandemic is a time of healing.
Yep.
It's a time of healing. It's a time of life-changing. I love this pandemic on the first 3 months. But hopefully, after this months, this will come to an end because it's taking its toll already.
Yeah. Same. And not to mention, you said earlier in your story, it's 3 days. It's like, it's so biblical, man. 3 days, after 3 days, you rose again!
Yeah.
How many days did Christ die?
I remember in Bible said it's 3 days, right? After 3 days, you
3
rose
days,
again.
oh, fuck.
Really? It's like this.
No.
Ivan, you're good.
Yeah. So, to me, pare, thank you so much for this time also, Mark. Tignan mo, you even called me to have this interview, di ba? This happened before the tournament because I was supposed to be interviewed by Mark a week ago, and then I told him I'm joining a
I informed it to Mount. I said he's going to a jiu-jitsu tournament. Oh, by the way, can I ask you something? Is it gi or no gi tournament?
Yeah, I went for the gi tournament because that's where I really like not in the no gi. It's not my thing, you know, because no gi is more like, it's still jiu-jitsu, but to me it's more like wrestling.
It's more closer to MMA, I think.
Yeah, gi is, for me, it's my starting point.
Actually nga, swerte mo na pag-tournament nga kami ni Mark. Siyempre, minsan lang kami nagma-Muay Thai, then, hindi pa kami nakapag-compete. And then, siyempre,
kumbaga sa amin kasi ganito yung number, at ito honestly, for the listeners out there, number 1 weakness kasi namin, not really weakness, but in terms of scheduling kasi, our work is kind of demanding in time. We always do overtime really late at night. Then number 2, as you can see, both of us were wearing eyeglasses, right? So if I remove my eyeglasses, it's a big disadvantage. Because before we went to this Muay Thai gym, and by the way, we never actually paid for a gym. Because we befriended the teacher. Okay, those Thai fighters, we befriended them. So it's really funny because before we were training with that first Muay Thai gym, and my teacher said, of course he cannot really speak English, right? Most likely it's a little bit of Cantonese, but mostly Thai language, you know? And he was like saying, take off your eyeglasses. So I did take off my eyeglasses. Dude, I cannot hit the goddamn mat. The pad, I cannot hit the pad.
To be honest, I'm gonna ask you the same thing I asked myself before I changed my knacks. Joke lang. Anyway, what's your real goal when you join Muay? Is it to be good at Muay Thai or is it to look good?
No, actually,
I mean, physically.
No. It's like this. Number 1, join Muay Thai because I think me and Mao is the same. Number one, to lose weight, to have a sport activity, and
to
then
learn.
of course to learn how to self-defense. Because of course, eventually, right? You will never know. You will use this technique if that time comes. You just to be prepared. But we are not saying that we want to use this to to fight someone or whatever. No, not that kind
Become
of
bullies.
mentality. But
No,
for us,
I
we
already got your point. Mark. The reason why you're doing Muay Thai is your first reason to lose weight, okay? So to me, my advice to you as a friend, honest advice, the only way to lose weight is through diet, man. I never thought in my whole life I'm gonna have this.
to the listeners out there, Ivan is showing his abs right now on camera. All right.
Mark, can you count it? Mark, can you count it?
No,
I mean, that's the point, bro. You will never have it, even if you do 5,000 sit-ups a day. No one will tell you this. No one will tell you except me as your friend. Diet is key.
diet is
And
the key. All right.
besides, from having a good body, bro, you will notice your health starts to improve. Your mental wellness, number one is mental wellness, will start to improve. You start to look things the way you look when you were younger, when you were innocent. And only diet. Count your calories, get a freaking app like MyFitnessPal, start from there. Buy a weighing scale that counts your body fat. I can tell it to you later, whatever it is I'm using. I mean, as a friend, I want you to save your lives also, to save your health. If you cannot do Muay Thai on a regular basis, it doesn't matter. If you want to change your physique, if you want to change your life, I mean, from my experience, okay, I'm not saying I'm an expert. I will never be an expert because I'm a pilot. It's calorie deficit. It's actually not eating more than your required caloric goals.
Wow.
That's it, period. Pare, trust me, give you 3 months if you follow a caloric deficit diet. For example, caloric deficit is not so restrictive naman eh. You know, it's very human friendly. You can still eat anything you want, but it must be weighed, you know? Like for example, you need to eat 150 grams of steak with 32 grams of carbohydrates and 20 grams for your morning, afternoon, snack, evening. And you're still eating a lot. And you save more money because you're eating portions of what you're cooking. So hopefully, bro, whatever it is that happened will also happen to you.
All right.
Mark, no more buffet for us.
No more barbecue buffet.
Well, honestly, like tonight, I'm going for a barbecue, okay?
Still barbecue buffet, Mao. We can still do that shit.
No, because
No.
last week, me and Mark, we just ate in the buffet restaurant.
Hindi, bro. Alam, sarap pa naman kumain dyan sa Macau. Putragis mga pagkain. Anyway, kasi the reason why I get to cheat like from time to time is because I've reached the maximum potential that I wanted. So every time I eat in a buffet, I can see myself disciplined. If I feel like I'm already full, I stop. Because the upbringing of Filipinos is that if you leave something on the table, the Lord will punish you.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like that. Actually, if you eat more than enough, you have to throw it away because you're killing yourself. You know, to some people, intermittent fasting is working. To some people,
Keto diet.
what else? Keto diet.
Yeah.
To me, the only diet you have to do is moderation. And to take your caloric requirements every day and then cut it down. Create a deficit. That's the only way to lose weight.
Man,
Healthy.
dude, man, we should research this shit. We
Yeah.
might still have
You
a
will
fighting
research?
chance of losing weight. Who knows, man?
I will help you. Man, I'm gonna send Mao. Hindi mo ba nakita yung picture ko ng mataba ko, pare? Di ba pinost
Wala, nothing. I just
Hindi,
met
sa
you.
Facebook ko, si Mark.
Mark,
Friend ko sa
okay.
Facebook yun eh. 10 taon na kami magkaibigan sa Facebook, walang iya ka. Nakikita niya lahat ng pinopost ko. Pinost ko yun. Yung weight ko nung 182 ako, hanggang sa nakuha ko yung gusto ko lang makuha. Kasi ayaw ko naman maging sobrang rip na parang kargador. Sakto lang. Diba?
Fit lang, kumbaga parang cool, chill lang. Yeah, I have abs a little bit. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, right. Yeah, cool.
So to me, you know, I've reached this kind of achievement. It's not to gloat, not to brag, but it's for me to feel happy inside.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you are doing this for the sake of the praise of other people, I suggest don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
No. First of all, me and Ma, we are not like that. Actually, me in
We
particular.
accept it already.
Yeah, no, it's the. I mean, he was talking about praising or whatever. I'm the one person who really doesn't like attention. Like for in my personal for me, I really don't like attention. That's why I keep telling. If you heard my previous episode in our podcast, I'm keep trashing TikTok and other app. Because I really hate those shit. And of course, my point is with TikTok, it's quite dangerous for kids because it's slowly becoming like a porn site. Sad to say, but it's true. It's starting to be like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pedophilia site.
Speaking of these things in the pandemic, because internet is a very,
Dangerous.
it's so accessible.
Yep.
You can
Yeah.
learn anything. Right now, my pledge to myself is in 3 days or 5 days is I'm gonna stop using social media
Wow.
because there's this app in Facebook that shows a statistic. No, not in Facebook.
In iPhone, yeah.
In iPhone, of course, iPhone
Yeah.
is the most powerful tool.
Yeah.
It's a statistics that shows reading,
Creativity.
social networking,
Yeah.
and then I noticed my social media is 60%. Kasi if you would notice, the number one kit of a pilot nowadays is iPhone. This is where our work revolves. This is where our charts is like, for example, you're flying to Hong Kong.
Mhm.
You have a chart on where you land, where you taxi, where you in the airway. The weather is also here. All communications in the office is in the iPad. It's electronic now. Everything is electronic.
Okay.
And it's easy for you to get tempted and look at Facebook, Instagram.
Yep. True.
So I said
I'm not
to
gonna
myself,
deny that shit.
these things,
Just one click.
yeah. To be honest, I'm not gonna ditch it entirely because most of the news that I need is still there. For example, in the Philippines, the clusterfuck they're in right now, the
Yes.
mishandling of everything, the alarming, mindset of the government, and this is where you see it with the opinions of others. That's the point of it, right? And to me, after reading these things, the next thing you will do is what? Look at the girls, look at the other people's lives and everything, right? Look at snooping around. I need to get rid of this. This is the thing that I'm going to pledge myself. If I can change my body, if I can change I can do this too. So the next thing I'm going to do, my pledge to myself is to get out of the social networks. Just look at it, browse at it, but get out of it. Right now, I'm posting a lot about myself. It's very narcissistic. It's because I'm very happy, goals I have. That's the main thing. Because I work hard for it, and it took me a lot of effort to be where I am right now, physically and mentally. And I hope the two of you will also go through the same. And believe me, man, it's very gratifying.
Yeah,
Especially
maybe also for the listeners out there that fat.
For the
I think
overweight
mostly
listeners, I hope this podcast is inspiring because honestly, I'm starting to get rethink how I think. So thanks to Ivan. Yeah.
Of course, that's the whole point. And then also to go back to social networking, TikTok and all this shit.
Yeah.
Alam mo, honestly, I see some porns, sex videos are being shot in TikTok, being shot in Snapchat, like how they fuck up the women's lives, Then I see things very horrible things, I see very horrible things in these porn sites. And I begin to think the internet is the tool of evil because it's a weapon for the devil to spread information that are grabe.
But meron dito
too
sa
much,
Macau. Meron dito sa Macau yung nabalitaan mo yung Mark na yung nahuli, pedophile.
They're
Nag-send siya ng
spreading child pornography.
Yeah, 14 years. Yeah.
So I really didn't follow the news actually. So I don't know if the reason why they got caught, aside from sharing that child pornography, is they're the one who is in the video. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But the point is, the bad part is it's all Filipinos.
Yeah.
So I was like a little bit
That's the
disappointed.
bad
It's like, come on, man, guys.
Alam mo, bro, to be honest, working as an OFW, sometimes I feel pity for our owners because Filipinos are easy to fool.
Yeah,
to be honest. Same goes with me. Tatlong beses, I was fooled here 3 times. First, when I arrived here, I got fucked by a taxi. When I arrived here, bro, in Vietnam, my first day here, I got fucked by a taxi. This is the airport, okay? This is the hotel I was supposed to check in. Probably less than 2 kilometers or even less.
You can walk.
Okay? You can walk, or the most you can pay for a taxi is 60 pesos. You know how much I paid?
Oh
You
my.
know how much I paid? 1,500 pesos. on my first day. Second, I took a taxi. I was going to a restaurant that I don't know where, but they serve Chinese food. You know how much I paid for the taxi?
Oh my.
Almost 800 pesos, and then he left me in the middle of the road.
Oh, freaking
Oh.
Then
shit.
he took my money. The third time I was full, this was very recent. I saw a sale online of Chanel perfume. Okay? Because we are financially challenged nowadays, but we still have this luho, kung tawagin. No?
Yeah, of course.
Or, yeah. So I saw it's 4,000 pesos for 2 perfumes and it's original. Then I'm gonna buy it, of course. And then so I buy it, they ship it here, it's fucking fake, man.
Then
So imagine,
naano ko lang yung sa first encounter mo sa taxi. Siguro sinama na yung tour.
How can it
He
be?
threw you around.
Nah, it's fine.
Minutes, right?
It happens, man. It's not just you. It's also me. Also, we you know, shit happens all the time.
No, Mark, tell about the fish that you only need 10 mop. They give you
Because
10.
that fish is like because when I was new here, I went to the wet market, right? I want to buy fish. I said 10 pieces of fish, and they just put out the big plastic, like fucking all the fish that they take all the fish, put it like, say, what the fuck? No, I said, no, 10. They thought I was ordering 10 kilos of fish.
10 kilos.
So, you know, and then
Did you pay for it?
no. I really said no. So anyway, it's a long time ago. I really forgot what happened next. But the point is, I never bought the 10 kilo fish. It's like, fuck this shit. You know?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You know what's really nice here? Cost of living is not too much. I used to work in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong is a lot.
It's very expensive.
Yeah,
But it's very nice. I love Hong Kong. It's the best. And then I transferred here to Vietnam. And to me, Vietnam, now I'm almost turning to past 1 year already.
But I
That
think
means I can
I
stay
think
here.
Ivan, everything happens for a reason, because you being
Yeah.
in Vietnam is much better than you being in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is being like, it's fucked up. Remember from
Yeah,
Carrie Lam
the
up until
rally.
now, fucked up,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, but I hope they will survive because I still have many friends there.
Yeah, of course.
Everything.
Yeah, we
I
have a
know they
classmate
will
there.
survive.
Yeah, we also have a
Yeah.
classmate there in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
There's,
shout out to Gio, uy.
if you're listening, shout out to you guys.
If you're listening, shout
And
out
shout out
to
to other. We have a lot of. I think we have a lot of.
Oh,
streaming-
what?
Hey man, I hope next time you can invite me and my teacher, my
Oh, sure.
jiu-jitsu teacher.
Oh,
That would be
Sure,
really
no
great,
problem.
man. That would be
promote
really
our
great.
jiu-jitsu because I heard, I think Hong Kong, you also have Hong Kong listeners, yes?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Or
Little bit.
So who knows, we might attract them to come here to roll with us in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And to be honest, find something passionate that you really like to do, even if it's lame. For example, your games, because it's lame. At our age mark, we're still addicted to games.
Yeah, not really addicted,
Yeah.
but it's like I said to my other friend who is also an architect. I was asking this: do you think that it's lame for us, 30-something, 30-something men
No.
playing video game? And I think, yeah, the answer is no, because we grew up with it. It's like basically asking a person who plays chess: is it lame to play chess when you're 60?
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly,
So
bro.
I think.
Kasi-
And
Mm.
imagine the Japanese lady who play until now.
Oh yeah, the
She was
grandma who
90
played
plus years
video
old,
game Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Because,
It's 90
bro, to
plus.
be honest, to be honest with you, if we lose these things, no, the things that we are passionate because of life, if life happens, so to speak, the only time it will happen is when you lose sight of things. The things that gives you the time to do it passionately without thinking, aside from your job. To me, it's jiu-jitsu, going to the gym, and having a healthy diet. Probably these are the things that I will not lose sight of because it healed me as a person. You know? And also right now, pare, what's very challenging for me is there's no CCF, there's no Grace Gospel churches here.
Mm.
So what I do is I do online listening. Pastor Bong Saking, Pastor Peter Tanchi. I listen to these guys. So it still keeps me on the loop, you know, the subjects they have. And now I started to join an online men's service headed by Tommy Shane Nang. Shout out to my boy. Headed by Tommy Shane Nang of a Bible study group. So if you want, I can tag you along. Maybe you can join once in a while. It's also in Zoom. But I prefer this StreamYard better than Zoom because Zoom is a little messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if you're not a premium payer, you have only 40 minutes.
Yeah. So that's why we use stream.
Yeah.
We actually,
Yeah.
we have a
Actually-
loophole in.
Yeah, we have a loophole. This is a
Alam ni
loophole
Mark,
actually.
alam ni Mark yan, ayaw ko magbayad ng
Yeah, so that's why StreamYard
Who does? Who does? Who does?
that's why this app has allegedly has a loophole, but
I don't like to buy online services because why? It's supposed to be free, man. Come on, we're already paying for the internet. Yeah.
my man.
Yeah,
Man,
speaking of
bro, alam mo, gusto kong bumili na, I wanted to download, I was so freaking tempted to buy Ghost of Tsukushima.
Oh yeah, I saw that in
PS4
IGN.
exclusive game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And then I
IGN.
saw the price. I just buy for the CD in my...
But for me, like I said, in terms of video game, like I said, just wait for sale. Like for me, I just buy something on sale. I never buy it like it really depends because nowadays I really don't have time to play. Honestly, now if I go back home, it's just like I'm already tired from work. I know my job is office work, but it's like mentally, it's like it's kind of affect you physically because of course you're already stressed out at work. So when I go back home, I just watch Netflix and that's it. If I can play, maybe I'll play like 1 hour, 2 hour. It depends. But nowadays, one of the things that really me and Mao, because now you see we were doing podcasts and you're part of it
this
right
is
now.
the thing.
So
Our
this is
new
because
passion.
of that COVID-19 shit. That's why we end up having a podcast. And the reason why I kind of love having the podcast because I don't want like other people. Like I said, even some of our schoolmates is doing TikTok, right? And I'm not really against TikTok. It's just that it's starting to change. You know what I mean? It's starting to be not good for kids.
You know, Mark, I understand. But you know, if any of our classmates is doing, you have to understand they are in
Yes.
also.
Yeah.
In life, who knows, probably if I'm in Manila, I'm also doing it. You're gonna start hating me, right? So anyway, I mean, they have their lives there. We have our lives here.
Yeah, I
But to be
understand.
honest, our lives is more serious than them because we are OF.
Yes, I agree.
Mm.
I mean, to be honest, me, I never thought I'm gonna be an OFW. You know, I thought I'm gonna die, live, and work in Manila my whole life.
Bro,
And
I
being
never
an
even imagined
OFW,
you're going to be a pilot in the first place, man.
Of course, nobody imagined me to become who I am right now.
Because again, sorry to cut you. For our listeners out there, in our school, St. Stephen High School, we are geared up to be a businessman. Actually, to be in engaging in business because we have this two subject: business math and business English. And I never used them in my life.
And you know, I was very weak in science. I was very weak in math. I was very weak in what else? Interpersonal skills. My conduct is always C minus. And I know the Lord put me here out of sudden.
Yeah.
I became a pilot, and I'm happy where the Lord put me. It means He's gearing me up to become very, very, very successful. He wanted me to change, probably. And probably He wants me to be an instrument, no, as an inspiration to others who came from the same background as I am.
Yeah.
And hopefully, despite them not telling it to me, I hope I inspired them in my own little way. And I mean, for you, Mark, I didn't even know that you're gonna be an.
You know.
Didn't even know.
Man,
Didn't
this
even
whole
know.
thing is a
Say-
joke.
Pare, Mama, if you will know, no?
Mm.
Ang perception ko kay Blanca, my perception of Mark when we were young, is very lazy. I think he's very lazy.
Oh, yes,
Until
I
now.
am.
I thought
Very
he was
lazy in
very
the sense that I need to
lazy.
work overtime.
And then I started seeing him post the project he's doing. I didn't know that he can draw really, really well, pare. I didn't know that
Yeah.
until now. Until I think 3 years ago. And, oh shit, he can draw really well, you know? And I'm very happy for you, pare. And also some of our classmates who made it in life. But for those who didn't, I hope they will still make it because they still have time.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm also struggling. I have many problems. But this pandemic, my jiu-jitsu, my physical activities taught me a lot. Na if I can do those things, I can overcome anything that comes into me. So in turn, probably the reason why I'm not yet married right now is because I needed to learn these things. Right now, pare, bro, because in Manila, di ba, Mark, we live a privileged life. Yeah, we don't do laundry, we don't do food. Probably we are living in a silver spoon, di ba?
Yeah.
Everything is spoon-fed to us, di ba? Now, pare, I can cook. I do my laundry. I clean my
Yeah.
house.
Mm.
I do my diet. I do my jiu-jitsu. I do my gym on my own. In my own power, pare. I do my flying. I do my uniform. I iron my clothes, motherfucker, whatever it is that you need to do. Sarah, I mean, it's a fulfillment also, no? Na If knock on wood, no? If disaster comes, no, a zombie-like catastrophe, I can survive. We will survive, yeah.
I can
Especially
survive.
Mao know what to do when a zombie apocalypse happens. He watched too many Walking Deads and shit, man. He knows what to
I haven't
do.
watched I haven't watched any single episode of it. But after my exam, I'm gonna download this shit. You know, Game of Thrones.
Talk to him.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I watch
I
it.
only watch it this year. All season, 8 seasons. All 8 seasons I watched in probably 1 week until they fucked it up in season 8, episode 6 or 7.
No spoiler.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. But Mao is the number one fan of that TV show. Not me. I'm sorry.
I hope you will watch it because the first 6 seasons is the best seasons.
Yeah, but
The first 6 seasons.
the later ones, it's like the best one. I don't like the ending and everything. I don't like it.
All right.
They said it's good, but for me, nah.
No spoiler, guys.
Game
For
of
me, no
Thrones?
spoilers.
Game of Thrones? Yeah, the
Right,
best season. The best season
Yeah.
in season 8 is the longest night. Remember?
And you wait for the last season. You need to wait for 2 years or 1.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah. Then you wait for 2 years. Then it sucks. Yeah.
You know, what really sucked in season 8 is not the whole thing. What really sucked was when they were doing the longest night, the fight between the ice people.
Don't spoil it to Mark. Don't spoil it.
Oh, sorry. I'm not gonna spoil. The fight between them. Puta Paris, Jon Snow nasa takas. That's what fucked me up in the head. He's the best fighter there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the one just like
Kasama niya
He
si
just-
Daenerys.
he's just like watching
Ang
watching on the
boring,
air.
no? Sabi ko, dapat nasa baba siya kasi siya yung pinakamagaling na spot na ang galing na kayong mag-wield ng sword. Have you watched the series in Netflix called Kingdom?
Which one? The Kingdom.
The Kingdom. Uhtred. The name of the hero is Uhtred. Watch it, bro.
Yeah, Kingdom.
No,
The
because
Last
there's,
Kingdom, sorry. The Last Kingdom.
yeah, because there's it's quite
yeah,
confusing because there's a lot of kingdom title in
Yeah.
Netflix. One is the
Yeah,
Korean
like-
one is a zombie Korean.
Okay. The English one, the British one. The Kingdom. The starring is Alexander Draymond.
I
The one who
haven't seen
did
it.
the movie with Ann Curtis. Parang ganda. You have to watch it. But it's like Game of Thrones minus because
The movie
sa Game
part?
of Thrones may catch eh. May catch yung Game of Thrones eh.
Yeah.
Yung Game of Thrones, hindi lang yung kingdom to kingdom yung nag-aaway. Meron pang separate entity which makes it more interesting. Which is the enemy of the enemies, diba? And then people against people. And Game of Thrones, yun yung catch niya eh. But the kingdom,
Yeah.
it's kingdom versus kingdom, and politics.
Yeah.
I hope you watch it also. The Last Kingdom pa, The Last
The
Kingdom.
Last Kingdom. All right.
All right, bro, I'm talking too much.
It's
Man,
okay.
right now, I'm also learning how to speak Portuguese. Marcos' wife is my teacher in Portuguese.
Mark,
I
speak.
wanted to speak.
The Mark, yung ano natin.
Nakalimutan ko na yan.
Wait. Ipobrido Omar.
What?
Ipobrido Omar.
We cannot really pronounce it, but the point is it means no smoking.
And
Yeah.
you know
Fumar is smoke.
Fumar.
Omar is
Fumar is
smoke.
smoke.
Fumar is smoke or fire, I think.
Oh no, we have one word. Saida.
It's exit.
Okay?
All right.
Man, I enjoyed talking.
Okay.
Man, if you want, I will bring my teacher.
Yeah, next time.
Sure,
man.
next time. Yeah, sure.
We schedule it something like
We
this
will
also.
promote. But man, Mark, thank you so much. I feel so important because of this time. I hope you two guys will be very safe. Hopefully keep supporting. I will keep supporting you guys. I will listen to your podcast when I am.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks, man. It
It's an
helps.
honor.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Na actually
I will make
kaya meron kaming podcast dahil din sa ang ano talaga namin is kamustahin talaga yung mga friends.
Yeah.
Because we don't
It's
know
like
na
like I said, we like the term hangout or hanging out with us instead of guest
Yeah.
actually. Because
Parang
that is
ganito,
our goal.
kulang na lang beer. Kulang na lang beer eh.
Yeah.
Ay, marami nagsasabi niya.
Very good
Beer na
question.
lang kulang.
Nagiinuman ba kayo? So, no,
Okay to.
wala.
Okay to, alam mo bakit, Mark? Kasi ang mga guest mo, mga ordinaryong tao kagaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Siyempre,
ordinary people.
ang
man.
feeling namin, siyempre, ikaw ba naman, pare, pwede ba kitang i-guess? Anong mafe-feel mo? Puta, artista ba ako?
Malapit na may abs ka na eh.
Oh,
Hindi yun yung point eh. Pero thank you talaga.
Instagram
Laking
model.
Pwede ko i-promote yung Jiu-Jitsu team.
Sure.
Ay,
Okay.
sure. Promote na tayo. No, Mark?
Okay. I mean, our episode is done. Mahaba-haba tong episode natin.
Mahaba.
Almost 2 hours,
Hirap na editing
actually.
to.
Okay.
Thank you, Mau, ah.
Okay,
Thank you talaga,
sure,
Mau.
no
sa mga...
Sorry, pare, ah, kasi ang
No.
tagal kong hindi nakakausap ng Pilipino. Yun, ang sarap magsalita. Pag uwi ko ng Manila, kikitain ko lahat ng tropa ko, man.
Or let's make a podcast of it. Like, kita yung mga friends mo, podcast tayo.
So, okay, pare, magte-thank you na ako, ah.
Yeah, sure. Shout out mo na.
So first, shout out to my friend Marcus and of course my professor Wagner Costa, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Brotherhood, Leandro Lo. We have a school here called Wagner Costa Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We are located in NT Fitness. It's a gym, a famous gym here in Nha Trang, Vietnam, in Cam Ranh. So if you want to get in touch, if you want to roll with us or train with us for one day, please come here in Nha Trang. We are gladly going to. Also in the Philippines, shout out to my health coach, my mental healthness coach, my good friend Timothy Amielngo, the owner of the Architect Philippines. The best wellness, physical wellness school institution, Manila right now. Thank you for these two guys who changed my life. I also want to greet my parents, my mom, my dad, my two sisters. I miss you guys so much. And I hope you will listen to this because I will send you the link and I will force you to listen. And I miss the Philippines so much. And hopefully in time this COVID will be over. And hopefully I can see you too in Macau because I will go there and I will visit you two guys. Marami kaming plano ni Mark dati nakakata. Sinisendan pa ako yun.
We're way past that shit.
Pati yung presyo, medyo Mark and Mau, Architops, more power to you. I will support you. I will try to face.
Thanks,
All right, thanks, man.
Kahit wala akong support, I'll keep posting about it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Mark, ingat ka dyan, Mau. I will add you on Facebook. Hopefully
Sure, no problem.
Yes.
So next time, I hope you will invite my teacher.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. We can do that. It's
some of my
much
Brazilian
better.
friends, some of my Irmão, we can invite them so they can also speak about what they are doing. They
So
will
I think,
Yeah.
So
Okay,
Mark,
shout out muna na.
shoutout ko lang. Shoutout ako. Shoutout ko lang si Rodolfo Paloma, our good friend, and wife niya na si Diane Paloma and two kids. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I want to shout out to my relative. Is Anne Julie Blanca. I want to say hi. Ayan, na-shout out na kita. And also to my friend Bernadine Tamayo. I want to say hi and keep listening to us and keep supporting us.
Who's
and,
Julie Blanca, Mark? Who's Julie Blanca? Sino siya? Julie Blanca.
Anne Julie Blanca is my actually is I don't know. I think by blood she's like my niece. I'm not really sure.
Oh, because every time that we post something in Architalks, she's the only one that hit the like button. Like in the minute, like hit another hit button, like a like button. Like yeah.
I-add niyo ako dun sa Architops.
Sure, I will send you the link.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
yeah,
I just also want to promote our social media, although we don't have time to actually update everything. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. Just type Architalks. So I think we will pop out. So I think, yeah.
You can see our happy faces. Okay.
Gawin natin to ulit, pare. Ang saya.
Sure.
Actually, basta, for us, we try to invite, random friends that we have. I mean, of course, when
and
people
who's available.
First, I think kasi they nagiging not really a problem, but I guess people will mistakenly when they see this Architalks, they will think, oh, it's just for architecture people. No, it's not. It's basically we're talking about everything under the sun. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're okay to talk about that subject, and we chat, we talk, we hang out. That's it. All right. Okay. Let's finish this episode. So at least we wrap this up. So that's it. Follow us on our social media.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this clip, please hit the subscribe button, like, and share. And if you want to listen to the full episode of the podcast, just click the link in the description down below. Or you can subscribe to us to Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, and other podcast apps. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just type in Architalks Podcast, and I'm sure we will pop out. All right, people, we are out. Peace!